What happens when a mighty empire built on centuries of glory faces a desert-hardened army with nothing to lose? How did a sandstorm, a few camouflaged camels, and a commander with a voice like thunder change the course of history forever? Why did Rostam Farrokhzad, the Persian general who sat like a god beneath a jeweled canopy, fall in the dust like any mortal? This isn't just a battle, it's a collision of civilizations, a tale of elephants, espionage, and epic speeches that could make stone statues weep. From palace plots to monster camels, from arrow storms to midnight rumblings, this is the story of al-Qadisiyyah, where fate, faith, and fury met on the battlefield. So grab your armor or popcorn, because what you're about to witness is not just history, it's legend. In the year 636 AD, the Middle East was a cauldron of exhausted empires and rising powers. The Byzantine Empire, once dominant, had just suffered a catastrophic defeat at the Battle of Yarmouk, where the brilliant Muslim commander Khalid ibn al-Walid outmaneuvered a vastly superior force too. That victory sent tremors through the region, shaking the confidence of both Byzantines and their longtime rivals, the Sassanid Empire. The Sassanids, weakened by 3 decades of war with Byzantium, were vulnerable. Their emperor, Yazdegerd III, a boy king thrust into power amid civil strife, faced a new and unexpected threat: the rapidly expanding Rashidun Caliphate, led by the formidable Caliph Umar ibn al-Khattab IV. The Rashidun Caliphate, founded after the death of Prophet Muhammad in 632 AD, was led by the rightly guided caliphs. Under Caliph Umar, the Islamic State transformed from a tribal confederation into a world power. Umar was a visionary leader, stern, just, and deeply strategic. He reorganized the military, established garrison cities like Kufa and Basra, and created the Diwan, a register of warriors' pensions that evolved into a powerful administrative body. Umar's ambition was clear: to capitalize on the weakened Sassanids and bring Persia under Islamic rule. He appointed Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, a trusted companion of the Prophet and one of the earliest converts to Islam, to lead the Campaign 7. In May 636, Sa'd was ordered to march from his camp near Medina with 4,000 men, eventually joining a larger force near al-Qadisiyyah, a strategic town 30 miles from Kufa. Reinforcements poured in, including 5,000 veterans from the Battle of Yarmouk, swelling the Muslim army to 36,000, including 7,000 cavalry. Caliph Umar, aware of Sa'd's limited battlefield experience, instructed him to consult seasoned commanders and sent emissaries to Yazdegerd III and Rostam Farrokhzad, the Sassanid general, inviting them to embrace Islam. For 3 months, negotiations stalled as both sides prepared for war. The Sassanid army, numbering between 50,000 and 100,000, was a formidable force. It included heavy infantry, elite cavalry, a terrifying elephant corps, known as the Indian Corps, with war elephants imported from Persian provinces in India. Rostam deployed his troops across a 4-kilometer front, with divisions led by seasoned commanders: Hormuzan, right wing; Jalinus, right center; Peruzan, rear guard; Meron, left wing. Their camp was fortified on the east bank of the Atik River, with a bridge and boats ready for maneuvering. Now pause for a sec. Step into the extraordinary. Subscribe to Eccentric Digital Pixel. Welcome to the wild frontier of creativity, where pixels pulse with imagination and every frame tells a story you've never seen before. At Eccentric Digital Pixel, we don't follow trends, we bend reality. From surreal digital art to mind-blowing visual experiments, this is your backstage pass to the future of expression. Why hit subscribe? Get exclusive access to jaw-dropping digital creations. Be the first to witness new drops by turning on notifications. Dive into a world of eccentric brilliance that inspires, challenges, and captivates. Join a community of visionaries who crave the unconventional. Don't just scroll, experience the pixel revolution. Smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to never miss a masterpiece. Because normal is boring, and you were born to see the world differently. Rostam Farrokhzad, the Persian general with a name that sounds like it should come with its own thunderclap, sat like a demigod on an elevated throne shaded by a canopy near the west bank of the river. His view? Panoramic. His vibe? Regal. Beside him fluttered the Derafsh Kaviani, the Sassanid royal standard, a bejeweled banner so legendary it made other flags feel like napkins. Rostam, ever the strategist, had stationed messengers between the battlefield and Ctesiphon like a human WhatsApp chain, ready to ping updates to the capital. But despite the war drums echoing across the plains, Rostam wasn't itching for blood. He preferred diplomacy, preferably with a side of dates and barley. So he sent peace feelers to the Muslim camp. His pitch? "We've been good neighbors. We fed you, clothed you, let your goats graze like royalty. You're poor, I get it. I'll give your commander a horse, some cash, and everyone gets a date load and 2 outfits. Just go home. I don't want to kill you. It's bad for morale." But the Muslim emissaries, Rabi bin Amir and Mughira bin Shuba, weren't buying it. They offered 3 options: Islam, jizya, or war. Rostam sighed. So much for diplomacy. The battle began with a Sassanid arrow barrage so intense it could have been mistaken for a meteor shower. The Muslim archers returned fire, but their bows were more DIY than military grade, barely scratching the Sassanid armor. Then came the elephants. Not metaphorical ones. Actual armored, tusked behemoths stomping toward the Muslim right wing. Jarir ibn Abdullah, the cavalry commander, was told to charge. His response? "You want me to fight that?" His cavalry refused to advance. The infantry braced for impact like interns facing their first boardroom showdown. Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas, the Muslim commander, saw his flank crumbling and sent al-Ash'ath ibn Qais to reinforce the right. The cavalry launched a counterattack, flanking the Sassanid left. It worked. The tide turned. Muslim archers targeted the elephant riders while infantry sliced saddle girths. The elephants panicked and retreated, probably wondering why they ever signed up for this gig. Rostam, not one to be outmaneuvered, ordered his left center to advance. Then his right wing surged against the Muslim left. The Muslims were battered by arrows and heavy infantry charges. Rostam believed in his troops. They were seasoned, armored, and battle-hardened. But the Muslims fought like they had divine Wi-Fi, ferocious, unyielding, as if every strike was live-streamed to heaven. The battlefield was chaos incarnate, no quarter given, no mercy shown. By afternoon, the Sassanid center and right wing began to retreat. Their attacks on the Muslim left had failed. Rostam ordered an orderly withdrawal, and to his credit, the Sassanids executed it with discipline. Sa'ad saw an opening. He ordered a counterattack. Muslim infantry plunged into the tired Sassanid ranks, followed by cavalry aiming to flank. Rostam scrambled, personally commanding his rear cavalry to hold the line. Then came the Kar Wafar, a full-force Muslim cavalry charge into exposed gaps. Rostam ordered his cavalry to meet them head-on. He plunged into the fray himself, receiving several wounds. As night fell, both sides withdrew. Day 1, inconclusive. The next day, reinforcements from Syria arrived. Al-Qaqa ibn Amr al-Tamimi led the vanguard, followed by Hashim ibn Utbah. Qaqa cleverly split his troops into small groups, arriving one after another to create the illusion of a massive army. The Sassanids were demoralized. With no elephants left and fresh troops in hand, Sa'ad ordered a general attack. The Muslims surged forward. The Sassanids held firm. Both sides withdrew to regroup. Then Qaqa pulled a stunt worthy of a Netflix special. He camouflaged camels to look like monsters. The Sassanid horses saw these beasts and bolted. Their cavalry disorganized, their left center exposed. Sa'ad ordered another attack. Qaqa led a group of Mubarazuns, elite duelists and veterans of Yarmouk, through the Sassanid right center toward Rostam's HQ. Rostam, wounded but unyielding, led a counterattack and repelled them. Dusk fell. Both armies retreated. On the 3rd day, Rostam went all in. He ordered a general attack across the Muslim front. Infantry led, archers and cavalry followed. The Muslims pulled back, but by noon, they had eliminated the last of the Sassanid elephants, which panicked and stampeded through their own ranks, fleeing toward the river. The tide had turned. As the 3rd day of battle wore on, the Muslim ranks, exhausted and battered, began to show gaps. The Sassanid advance had carved through like a hot knife through hummus. Rostam, ever the opportunist, saw his moment. He dispatched a cavalry regiment with a chilling mission: capture the old palace where Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas was stationed. The goal? Kill or capture the Muslim commander-in-chief, and break the spirit of the Muslim army too. But fate had other plans. A strong Muslim cavalry contingent intercepted the Sassanid riders and repelled them, saving Sa'ad and preserving the command structure. The palace remained untouched, and Rostam's gambit failed. The 3rd day was a bloodbath. Both armies suffered heavy casualties, and the battlefield turned into a grotesque tapestry of fallen warriors. The fighting raged through the night, a cacophony of clashing steel and dying cries. Muslim chronicles named it Yawmul Amas, Day of Blinding, and Laylat ul-Harir, Night of Rumbling Noises, a poetic nod to the chaos that echoed until dawn. On the fourth day, the battlefield was eerily quiet. But the war wasn't over. With Saad still recovering, al-Qaqa ibn Amr al-Tamimi took command. He addressed his warriors with a speech that could have made a lion weep. If we fight for an hour more, the enemy will be defeated. So warriors of Bani Tamimi, make one more attempt, and victory will be yours. With that, the Muslim left center surged forward, aiming straight for the Sassanid center. Their target? Rostam himself. As if summoned by divine decree, a sandstorm swept across the battlefield. Visibility dropped, confusion reigned, and in this chaos, Qaqa and his elite Mbarzans, veterans of Yarmouk, slipped behind enemy lines 4. Rostam, isolated and disoriented, was caught off guard. The storm muffled orders, scattered his guards, and turned the battlefield into a maze. Qaqa's men found him, and Rostam Farrokhzad was slain 4. The death of the Sassanid commander was like pulling the keystone from an arch. Word spread like wildfire. Panic gripped the Persian ranks. Soldiers fled across the river, abandoning formation and hope. With Rostam dead and the Sassanid army in retreat, the Muslims surged forward. The largest army of the Sassanid Empire had been dismantled, its finest commander fallen, and its morale shattered. This victory at al-Qadisiyyah opened the gates to Ctesiphon, the Persian capital. The Sassanid Empire, once a titan of the ancient world, was now exposed and vulnerable to Islamic conquest. 6. The Battle of al-Qadisiyyah wasn't just a clash of swords, it was a collision of civilizations. It marked the end of Zoroastrian dominance, the rise of Islam in Persia, and the beginning of a new era. And all of it turned on a sandstorm, a daring raid, and the fall of a man who sat beneath a canopy, watching the battlefield like a god. Before you go, if you enjoyed this epic tale of strategy, sandstorms, and the fall of empires, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, click the notification bell so you never miss another thrilling story from history's hidden vaults. We've got more battles, betrayals, and legendary warriors coming your way.